Go within to the one inside. Go within, let it be your guide. Go within, touch the truth. Go within, know it's you. Go within to the place that's still. Go within, let that be your will. Go within to the one inside. Go within, let it be your guide.
Go within, I invite you to relax, to exhale deeply, and to inhale anew, exhaling. We are in this sacred time and sacred place. Place where we can feel ourselves being renewed. In that place where we feel the divine energy from our silent unity prayer service. My body is a vessel of life and energy. I invite you to take those words in, let them resonate through your cells, your organs, to be part of you. My body is a vessel of life and energy. And gently to yourself. God is vitality. Centered in God's life. Feel the energy. Feel yourself renewed. Let us be grateful for the harmony of our body, all the body systems and functions. And as we increase our awareness of health and wholeness, as we increase our consciousness, recognize that we move into a heightened health and well-being. Let us heal any concern that we might have. For indeed we are centered in the God presence. So I invite you to go within, aware of the God presence, aware of the healing. Go within that sacred place of the Most High to be. Feel that renewing energy, healing you. Feel the renewing energy. Life. Together, connecting. There's connection. Let us recognize. As of today, we can see life anew. As of this Good morning. And as the Unity singers prepare, I want to know if it's all right to make an announcement. Is it? So we have newlyweds among us. Please stand. Adrian and Chad, congratulations. And let us just send them blessings of love. And success and joy. Amen. Thank you.
There's more to life of which I am learning, and that brought me to you. The day is bright when my love is burning. That's why I'm here with you. Everything rings true. Love is always new. Smaller than a mustard seed, larger than the universe. It's the waking up in me. It's the water and the thirst. Smaller than a mustard seed, larger than the universe. I try to tell you how I feel. Another new day is calling, and that brought me to you. When I feel you near, I'm not scared of falling. That's why I'm here with you. Everything rings true. Love is always new. Smaller than a mustard seed, larger than the universe. It's the waking up in me. It's the water and the thirst. Smaller than a mustard seed, larger than the universe. I try to tell you how I feel. I try to tell you how I feel. Reach out. I try to tell you how I feel. There's more to life of which I am learning, and that brought me to you. That's why I'm here with you.
great. Reach out. Reach out, reach out. Oh, good morning. It is great to see each and every one of you here, and it's good to be here. It's great to be here. Well, I've been talking about setting your heart on fire. That's what y'all did, right? You just set your hearts on fire, fell in love. Just congratulations. So in the past weeks, I've talked about embracing life and dancing with the music, and today we're going to continue this series of setting your heart on fire with expanding your world, expanding your universe. So what do I mean by expanding the world or the universe? Am I talking about property or goods or money, or am I talking about consciousness, or all of those things? I think that's really what it is that we're talking about expanding all good. We're talking about expanding our consciousness, and when we expand our consciousness, we come into alignment with that place of goodness. Charles Fillmore says to raise a level of consciousness and if you raise a level of consciousness, you find a new world waiting for you. So as we raise that level of consciousness, everything looks anew, feels anew, and we see things differently. He also says that through awakening the presence or a higher consciousness, the universe becomes conscious of itself. So it becomes conscious in a new way. Also, when I read this and started thinking about it, I couldn't help but go to the prayer of Jabez. If we're going to expand our consciousness, then we have the opportunity to find that place, that prayer that holds to that expansion of the consciousness. And oftentimes we think that the Old Testament has nothing for us, right? The Old Testament is that old stuff, and how could it even speak to us today? So let's just look at this. It's in 1 Chronicles 4:10. Jabez called upon the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my boundary, and that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from hurt and harm." And God granted what he asked. God granted what he asked. And whatever that name for God is for you, you can use all those different names. He called upon God, and he stated what he wanted. And he allowed himself the opportunity to receive. And so often, our good is blocked by our own lack of consciousness, our own lack of awareness that we are indeed worthy of good. We are indeed worthy of having prosperity on so many levels. So, on all levels. So Myrtle Fillmore healed. And the way she healed was by raising her consciousness. She raised her consciousness and became in alignment with the divine that moved through her. You see, we don't have to get wrapped up in how it's going to be. We don't have to force it to happen. We have to become willing to receive. We have to be willing to get out of that place where we might cause pain, where we might be in negative thinking or in fear, that place that we're not in alignment. In one of the versions of this, it says, "Keep me from evil." And I think that's good to look at too, because we don't talk a lot about evil and unity. And yet, evil is just that place within us where we're living life backwards. So if you take evil, E-V-I-L, and you turn it around, you have L-I-V-E. And when we get to that place where we're turned around backwards, we can allow ourselves to just turn back around. It actually reminds me of a talk I did once upon a time about do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. It's that simple. It's that simple. So metaphysically, Jabez means awakening to the understanding that evil causes sorrow. And it also is about having an earnest desire that will awaken us to direct our energies toward the divine, to God, to Jesus, that name for you. It is in spirit that we are delivered from evil. It is in spirit that we remember the truth. It is in spirit that we may be blessed and receive the goodness, to receive the blessings that God was quite willing to say yes to. God was so willing just to say yes. God granted what he asked. So things which are seen are formed out of things which are not seen. Things that are seen are formed out of things that are not seen. So that means we have the opportunity to create in the energy of the divine. It's like it's a large matrix, a creative energy in matrix. So Jabez was calling God to help him accomplish the promises of good. So he cried out, Jabez cried out to God. So let's look and see how this is like our unity prayer formula that we use. We say, first of all, to relax and to call on the name of God. So here's what he was doing. He was relaxing and he was calling on the name of God. Bless me, stating what he wanted. Enlarge my territory. And so in unity we say, relax, call upon the name of God. Allow yourself to go in to meditation, to receive the direction, the guidance, the inspiration that comes to us as divine ideas. So there's a book written by Wilkinson about the prayer of Jabez. It's a little book. It talks a lot about this prayer. And one of the things he says is it all right to ask for what Jabez was probably asking for, which was more land? Is it all right for us to ask for more material possessions? What do you think? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's all right for us to ask for more material things. It's all right. It's all right for us to have new cars and things that make our life more meaningful. It's not all right to be so focused on that we forget truth. So there's nothing wrong with having good things, being prosperous financially. But isn't it better to be prosperous physically, to be prosperous in spirit? That's what we want. But if it's having something that helps us live easier so that we can focus on God with greater peace and security. Because the number one need that we have is what? Security. We need to have a roof over our head. We need to have a good place to live and things to eat. And then we can get about God's business and expanding our consciousness and looking for and attracting our good. So if we're doing God's business and really doing God's business, then we look for ways that we can serve. Yes? We look for ways that we can serve. We expand. There's a story that was in Guideposts about two young women that decided that they would go on a trip around the United States and visit every one of the states. And the first thing that the sister who had the idea called her other sister, and her sister said, well, I'm going to have to pray on it. So she did, of course, and they embarked on this trip. And they went to every state, and in each state, they spent time serving others. They served in churches, they served in schools, they served at libraries, they painted places, they entered data, they served. And they did this in a year's time. And when they came back, they thought that they would be changed on a great cosmic level. What they learned was but they were changed ever so gently and slightly when they originally arrived back. They began to miss the people and miss the road. But things weren't big and different like they expected. They had arguments along the way. They were uncomfortable along the way at different times. They just knew that something was happening. And what they learned was that God works in mysterious ways and began to shift their life very gently. And I don't know about you, but I like gentle shifts. I like gentle shifts. You know, I have used the prayer of Jabez for long periods of time. I had it up and I would use it every day, just to watch my life gently unfold. So I'm asking if you are willing to make this kind of commitment that you will use the prayer of Jabez to see what happens in your life, to expand your territory, to align with the divine, and see what is yours to do next. Find out ways that you can serve and allow yourself to be grateful. Allow yourself to be grateful for what is in your life. For that is a way that we can open even more. When we pray to God, it's about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and to be ready for God to provide. You know, if we ask for something in prayer and then we say, but I'm not worthy, we've sent a mixed message. So if we ask for something in prayer, it's about ours to say, thank you that it's coming in ways that are seen and unseen and that we can imagine and that we can't imagine. That it's just coming, that we just have to be willing to allow that to happen, to receive the blessing. Rumi says that know your heart's way, and then run in that direction. So it's important that we know where we want to go and what we want. It's important to be in that place of pure laser energy. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your fire. Seek those who fan your fire. Surround yourself with people that are involved in ways that you want to be involved, or that you are involved, or that call to your heart, that open your heart. Hang out with folks that inspire you. And get ready to get out of your comfort zone. Get ready to get out of your comfort zone. There's a Stanford, no, I don't think it was Stanford, excuse me. It was at the University of California at Berkeley. They did an experiment, and this experiment involved introducing amoebas into a perfectly stress-free environment. They made it the perfect temperature. They gave it everything that it wanted, everything that made it absolutely perfect. And it's surprising what happened, because without anything to push on them, to motivate them, they died. So, they died. I mean, what's with that? We didn't expect that, did we? So, in the earlier service, that led to conversation about a pearl. And how is a pearl formed? It's by that irritant being in the shell, and that shell creating a pearl. So we may be pushed out of our comfort zone to do that next great thing, to expand our own territories, because that's really what we're doing. That's really, we're about listening and following the direction and the will of God. It's not like God is going to come down and say, this is what you have to do, and I'm going to hold your hand all the way to do it. It's about us allowing ourselves the opportunity to say yes and to put our hand out to all those that are around us, calling us forth to do the work of God, to do the work of the divine, to do the work of that powerful force in the universe. Dimensions are not places or locations, but levels of consciousness that vibrate at a certain rate. The higher the vibratory rate, the more dimensions that we consciously experience. It's a powerful statement, isn't it? Are you willing? Are you willing to raise your consciousness, your vibration, to experience that higher dimension where there's so much more than what we now know? See, we're living in the third dimension, and we have the opportunity to live as Jesus did. Jesus lived in the fourth dimension, in a higher dimension, and we too have the ability to do that. This and greater things you can do. So are you willing to go to that higher place? So Charles Fillmore says that my mind is a luminous, and I perceive this luminosity of spirit everywhere. I perceive the luminosity of spirit everywhere. And my conscious oneness with higher dimensions of awareness constitutes my conscious oneness with all spiritual things and ideas, said Joel Goldsmith. Our consciousness of oneness with higher dimensions of awareness constitutes my conscious oneness with all spiritual beings and ideas. So let's raise our consciousness. Let's focus on that place of prayer and meditation. Let's listen to people and places and things and music that raise us. Let us be in love. Let us pray that prayer of Jabez. Let us invite the Spirit to enlarge our territory. God bless you. Namaste.
To the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me and He talks. Tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing. And He walks with me and He talks with me. He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with Him, though the night around me be falling, but He bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tell has ever known. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share